Hey everyone, welcome to the channel yet again, Adnan from DTA. The crypto markets has been volatile the last few weeks. We didn't get to a video last week, so we have a lot to talk about. And some major drops yesterday due to certain announcements. How's things going on your side?
Hey, Drickus, thanks again. Glad to be back on the channel. Really appreciate it. Things are going good on my side, and I must agree with you that there is a lot of volatility in the markets. It is quite concerning if we look at it on the higher time frames, but we'll jump into the chart shortly.
Sure, let's go for it. And I've even seen some of your predictions of previous coins has finally moved, like the EOS you mentioned, what's it, 3 weeks ago? So people who followed the
Yep.
channel would be in decent profit if they did.
100%, 100%. Can you guys see my screen? All
Yes,
good?
it's all good.
Fantastic. So just to quickly jump into BTC, I know everyone might be a bit nervous, wondering what's going on, and I am kind of anxious at this point because if we look at it on the daily, right, this is the daily chart. If I just remove these email ribbons, you can see we've had multiple higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, and higher high, which was great. You do notice that the last three higher highs aren't significantly higher than each other. Technically, yes, they are higher. However, it's not like this particular high or this particular higher high as opposed to the previous one, which is quite significant. However, that was already starting to show us that the buyers are starting to lose a bit of momentum, or the sellers are adding a bit more pressure, one of the two. However, what happened after that is we can just quickly draw an ascending wedge, which I've been drawing multiple times. An ascending wedge is a bearish pattern, and it did break to the downside. It gave us that lower low. So if we look at this as opposed to that higher low, this low is definitely lower. So that is a kink in the chain in terms of market structure. All right, we were anticipating a higher low after this higher high. We were anticipating a higher low and a higher high. We did not get that. That is a big warning call. We got the lower low. We pushed up. Okay, if we just quickly lay a Fibonacci, we got rejected perfectly on the 61.8. You can see let me just zoom in there. We got to the 61.8 and we got rejected quite hard. However, we've come back quite quickly, but in the grand scheme of the market cycles, the question is, can we anticipate a lower low? All right, so once we've gotten a lower low, a lower high, we therefore can anticipate, okay, it doesn't mean it's going to come, but we can therefore anticipate, all right, a lower low. That's one thing. I hope it does not happen, but I mean, if it does, I can't be surprised. And the market has given us that info. We'll just draw a bit of a resistance line there. And if we have any hope, we have to at least break this, retest, and start pushing higher. So in the interim, I think BTC is touch and go. If we use the email ribbons, we have broken beneath it, all right, on the daily, which is significant. However, we are coming back, but the question is, are we going to close above it and find support on top of the ribbons, or are we going to get rejected and then start falling further down? If that happens, I at least expect Bitcoin to come back to the 49,000, 50,000 mark. If that does not hold it, just as a quick indication, if we use Fibonacci, we can fall back to the minus 27, which lines up pretty well with the 41, 42K mark. So that's what I see if we go down. If we are going back up, let's just have a look here. If we are going back up, I think crucially we need to break this 60K zone. If we break that, find support above, then I'll be very bullish again. But until that happens, I'm going to trade with caution.
All right, I think the one question everyone has, what's your thought? Is the bull market over?
No, I don't think the bull market is over. Reason being is if we look at the bull markets, the previous bull markets, in terms of how much ROI they gave us from the initial start or the drop to the market top. If we look at the ROI, okay, and if we look at the duration of the market cycle of the bull market, the other cycles were a lot longer. So what I'm trying to say is we still have time, according to history, to maybe consolidate. We can maybe even come back down to the 40K area, consolidate, let the market cool down, find a new solid support, and then start pushing up again. That is, I think, a high likelihood for that to happen, but I don't think the bull market is over. Only when we get to perhaps September, August, maybe even October, then potentially we can look at a market top. If we cool down for the next couple of months, slowly work our way back down to the 40K, consolidate, find some good support, then yes, I think we can easily push higher past the 64K, hitting the 100, maybe even $150,000 mark. However, that is going to take time. It's not going to happen in one day or 1 week.
Rome wasn't built in one day.
Yeah, so the short and sweet, I don't think the bull market is over. I do anticipate a bit of a downtrend, a temporary downtrend to shake out all the weak hands, and then institutions will find it better to purchase around between the 14,000 and 50,000 mark, and then we potentially can go higher once again.
So basically, in short, this week, be careful for the low 40s, but also see breaking the 60K mark again. Potential
100%. If we can break where we got rejected, which is, let's say, approximately the 58, if we can break that on the daily, find support or a retest on the daily on top of the 58K, then things will turn, I reckon, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start breaking all-time highs a week or two after that. If we get rejected and start working our way back to the 52, 50 mark, 49, that's going to be quite worrying, because I think that will have enough momentum to get us down to the low 40s.
Well, it's good for the charts and for us who's trading. Now it's just to wait and see where the market is going to go.
100%. All right, next I want to just quickly chat about is Ethereum, which has been awesome, especially for any Ethereum holders. That it's been going up and up and up and up and up. If we just go to the daily to try and get some sort of perspective on what's going on, I do reckon we should, if we do continue going up, I do reckon the 4K is going to play significant resistance for us. All right, if we drop down to the smaller time frame, let's just check on the 4-hour. We are busy consolidating, if you would like to call it that. So easy. If Ethereum manages to break this, find some sort of support and push up, I think 4K is inevitable. Maybe not hover around there for a while. It might just be a wick, something quite quick. If we break this little consolidation box, retest and come down, we can just pop on the EMAs, go back to the daily just to get a good reference point. And I wouldn't be surprised if we come back between anything from the 3K down to, I would say, the 2.4, maybe 2.3 mark. A range somewhat there. I think it is a good spot for Ethereum to find some sort of support. It might even be a good place to purchase or to dollar cost average back into Ethereum if you're standing on the sidelines. Because if we look back, every time we had a significant push away from the EMA ribbon, the drop down was quite harsh. So the first one, this one was on Kraken, which was quite ridiculous. But if we just look at the average, was about a 34% drop. Then we had another one. As soon as we started pushing significantly away from the EMA ribbons, we had another drop, of approximately 24%. You can see in this particular instance, we have broken quite significantly away from the EMA ribbon. So I do expect some sort of a retracement. I'm not saying the the bull market is over, but the market has to cool down to a certain extent. It might still go to 4K and then come down, or we might see it sooner than expected. If we do, we can see, which will be normal for a bull market, we can see a drop of 35%, which takes us to the bottom of that accumulation zone, or to the bottom of those EMA ribbons, which will be perfectly fine for Ethereum. It can consolidate once again and then have a much better base to break that 4 and work up to 5-6K in the near future. So that's what I see in the bigger picture of Ethereum for now.
Looking at that, for the person who's not in Ethereum, basically, having buy orders set around the 2.6 mark should be ideal. If that wick comes down, it can generate that opportunity to get into.
100%. Yeah. So yes, look, obviously nothing we say on this channel, guys, is financial advice. However, I personally do have some buy orders starting from about the 2.8 with smaller orders, and as I go lower, I'm increasing my position size all the way down to just underneath, so approximately 2.2. So from 2.8 to 2.2, I think is a nice accumulation zone for Ethereum. However, it does not mean it is definitely going to stop here. It can break further down. That is always on the cards. But I'm taking that risk, and I think a drop down to those levels, and for it to find some sort of strength to push further up is something that is more than likely going to happen.
Especially with Ethereum, because it's moving rapidly, a lot of news, a lot of things happening behind the scenes. So the potential is there for sure. Any long-term prediction?
Long-term prediction. Okay, this is where I'm going to take us to ETH.
I've seen and I've heard some crazy long-term predictions out this week, since it's been moving as rapidly as it is.
Yeah, look, I always like to zoom out as far as possible, and let me put something into perspective here. So if we look at Ethereum, okay, it's had this trend line acting as resistance from, you could say, 2018, okay, all the way, and we only reached it. We found some support on top of it for some time, and now we have pushed up. If we're looking for a horizontal resistance, we could arguably say round about there was some strong resistance. We can also say there was resistance at that point. So we've broken 2 significant horizontal resistance points. And technical target out of, we can even call this an, I wouldn't even say that, you can make the case that it's an ascending wedge. However, the technical target at this moment would be previous structure. So if we look at previous structure, sorry, give me a sec. If we look at previous structure and we take it from where it is at the current moment and take it all the way up, that is another approximately 160%, okay? Assuming Bitcoin stays stable at approximately $50,000-$55,000, we can safely say if the Ethereum BTC does work its way to previous structure, all right, we can safely say that...
Now, before you give the number, the number I've used was 8,200. So let's see where you end up with this calculation. Yes,
of course. Okay, so let's just quickly refresh the screen. So if we were to push up 160% at the current Bitcoin price, all right, let's just see approximately what we get. So if we go from there and we add 160%, yes, that takes me to approximately 8,885, just under 9K, and that is on the cards. Even if Bitcoin stays at its current price,
exactly,
obviously it does not go lower, stays at its current price, and the Ethereum Bitcoin Satoshi value goes up just to previous structure, not even breaking all-time highs, that will give us an approximately, I would say, safely say, an 8K Ethereum within 3 to 6 months from now, maybe even sooner. But after a good cool down period and then a push up, another cool down period, I don't see why it can't hit that 8K zone. So yes, our analysis is saying the same thing. There's a lot of confluence there.
And it's good, but it's going to be interesting. And the folks just need to remember, this is predictions. There's no time related or connection to it. So it might happen next week, or it might happen in a year's time, or it might never happen. We're just showing what we're seeing on all the charts, which makes it really interesting.
Yes. No, I'm super excited. That will be great. And I don't see why, at least this cycle, we don't have an Ethereum USD price of at least above 6K. I mean, there's no excuse for it not to hit 6K, but obviously this is crypto. Anything is possible. So we just need to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, 8K, I think quite easily towards the end of the year, we should definitely hit that.
For sure. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and just a word of warning, everybody. If you're waiting on the sidelines and you do want to buy Ethereum, perhaps it's not a good idea to buy, because technically this zone here is an all-time high. All right. And you don't want to be buying all-time highs. You want to wait for a significant drop, okay, for it to consolidate for some time, and then potentially this will be a better time to jump into Ethereum. Just a word of advice for people who might FOMO in, and then there is a potential 20-30% drop, which takes us back to that 2,300 2,200 mark. It might scare a lot of guys, and potentially they'll sell at a loss.
For sure. Think about having your limit orders down there. If the market spike down or have a week down, let it trigger. Don't wait for it to
100%.
drop and then try and get in, because you might miss opportunity.
100%. And the last one, Cardano. I gotta, yeah, guys. Just to put it out there, I do own Cardano. I'm not telling you to buy or not to buy Cardano. However, if we look at the charts, it is simple. We have been rejected several times on this horizontal resistance point. Several times on the daily. We even broke above temporarily, got rejected. However, at the moment, breaking that resistance. If we jump down to the 12-hour, we can see we've had a 12-hour close, all right, above it. If we just look at market structure, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, okay, we can therefore anticipate, nothing's guaranteed, but we can therefore anticipate a higher high. So I'm really excited for ADA. It's finally breaking out of this ascending wedge, which is a bullish pattern, okay? And next resistance, for those of you who are invested, we can approximately see a 25. Let's safely call it a 25%, which we got rejected at previously. However, if we just zoom out and look at the bigger picture, let's actually go to the 3-day. Even the weekly, my apologies. We can see very, very strong resistance at that 4,000 Satoshi mark. So if we were to take that from the current price, that is an approximately 61%. If we take that on the current ADA USD, assuming US dollar stays quite stable, check here. Yeah, assuming it stays quite stable, we can easily have within the next few weeks an approximately, let's just look at it like that, 60%, just over $2, maybe $2.1 Cardano, which is fantastic. And I don't think that's the top. I think there's still going to go higher. If I look at market cap, Cardano's coin market cap is sitting at approximately $45 billion, my apologies. Even if we have a 5x, that's only going to take us to a roughly 200 billion, which is kind of feasible for Cardano, considering its ecosystem. So I would easily see a a $5 minimum, $5 Cardano, at least by the end of this run. I'm not going to be with those guys on YouTube who tell you a $50 Cardano, which is absolute rubbish. Perhaps not this cycle, maybe the next cycle, yes, but I highly doubt this cycle, because that will mean it has to have a higher market cap than Bitcoin at this current stage, which unfortunately I can't see happening.
Well, you just mentioned $5. About 4 or 5 weeks ago, my Friday prediction on different coins, I made one on Cardano. And if I recall correctly, my prediction was just over $5 over the long term.
Fantastic. A lot of confidence happening here.
So it's pretty interesting how we're seeing similar indications in the market, which in my perspective is a good thing, because the more we're seeing the same thing, the better the chances are that things are going to go that direction.
Yes,
and
yes.
that gives us opportunities.
100%. And if we look at Bitcoin dominance, and we just quickly see, if we look at Bitcoin dominance, I don't know if you guys remember if we were having those calls back then, and I said we're going into a descending wedge. That is a bearish indicator, and as soon as we break this, we're going to drop. And it's done exactly what I expected. However, we're actually falling. We're going to find at least some significant support by the 50 psychological support, all right? But we've just broken right through it. And if we zoom out, we can see the next significant support is the 40% dominance. We can't even wick down like it did previously, down to 35. So for altcoins, this is fantastic. For Ethereum, for all the other altcoins, as BTC dominance is dropping like a stone, okay, you can see all that selling volume. It's not necessarily selling volume, but it's all most of the funds is leaving, not the crypto market itself. It's funneling into other smaller market cap coins. So I personally think this is only going to slow down towards the 40% mark. We might even have a week or two, beneath that. Okay, and that's going to give significant gains on altcoins. So at the moment, I wouldn't recommend selling the majority of your altcoins. Hang tight. They're going to have more to give you. But word of caution, when we do get to this zone over there, start looking at selling, especially if you're in significant profits, because once the dominance starts to bounce back, it happens fairly quickly, and alts are going to bleed extremely fast, especially if they have no fundamentals backing up their purpose.
For sure. I think the good thing at this current stage is, even though the Bitcoin dominance is falling, the current market cap is staying the same for Bitcoin, which indicates to me there's a lot of new money coming into the market. It's not current money that's getting switched around between different coins.
Yeah, that is actually very surprising, because we look at the BTC dominance, the BTC market cap, and it's sitting around about that $1 trillion mark. It's almost like a psychological resistance. We're struggling to pass it. I think when we pass it, the move up to $2 trillion is going to be fairly quick. That will indicate double in the Bitcoin price. But yes, I think the current market cap is about $2.3 trillion. And it's funny, because as the BTC dominance is dropping, the market cap is staying the same, if not increasing, with alts going up. So it's a very interesting little mix happening.
No, for sure. Good the new money coming in, and just keeping the whole industry healthier and healthier.
Exactly. I mean, we need this industry to grow even more. We need to educate more people. Wow. Well, my personal opinion, I agree with Robert Kiyosaki. Cash is trash, 100%, especially at the rate they're printing it now. It's alarming, and it's only going to result in massive inflation in the near future. And that is more of a reason for you to jump into crypto. Obviously, if you're new, I would recommend at least sticking to Bitcoin for the first couple of months, fully understand the risks that are involved. But the least riskiest is Bitcoin. And that's proven itself over the last 12 years.
No, for sure, it makes a difference. And for everyone watching this video, in the description, DTA's webpage and details will be. Go have a look at it and contact them for more information. It does help, believe me.
Thank you.
No, anytime. And thank you for your time. Any thoughts you want to leave anyone with?
Any thoughts? Nothing today. Just obviously always play from a position of strength. Don't FOMO in. There'll be millions of other opportunities coming around the corner. So don't beat yourself up if you've missed something. There's always coins in the crypto market doing at least 100% gains at least once a week. There's always something doing something crazy. You just gotta search for them and execute with caution.
For sure. Appreciate your time yet again, and I'll see you next week. And hopefully the market is going to be more volatile and interesting.
Fantastic. Hopefully we have a $4,000 or $5,000 Ethereum with a $3 Cardano.
That sounds brilliant.
Great. Thank you.
Appreciate it.